And so, yes, we are recording and we are now live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Khan Family Show. Hey, it's Saturday morning and everything is awesome. We have a really awesome guest for you today. I love it when I'm able to get guests like this young man because the young people in our world today, they don't seem to have any focus. They don't seem to have any desire. They think the world owes them something and whatever else, you know. And so for me, being 53 years young, I really appreciate young kids like this kid. And he's obviously got a really awesome story. And so really looking forward to this. And these kinds of things are what are going to help us accomplish our mission, you know, because we are the Khan family and we've got this really simple goal. We just want to change the world. And people, I know a lot of people kind of scoff at that when we say it, but the truth of the matter is, kids, we are changing the world. It's happening every single day. We get to see examples of it every day because when you change one person's life for the better, then they turn around and go and change somebody else's life for the better. And as that goes, like the old Farrah Fawcett commercials, you tell one, they tell one, and then it's telling everybody, and then all of a sudden it's rolling across the world like wildfire, baby. And that is exactly what is happening. And my brother Sean, if he were here, he'd say, yeah, we're changing the world one glass of hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, incredibly hydrating Kangen 9.5 at a time. And I would add one lightning bolt in a box, one incredible guest, one awesome episode, and one amazing family at a time. And so with all of that, I want to introduce you to Alex Rubio. He is coming from the hood in East LA. I mean, you know he's a bad old Palm Beach if he's rocking it in East LA. He's actually turning East LA around, you know. And heck, he's not even a Lakers fan. He's a Boston Red Sox fan.
Red Sox fan.
Please tell me you're not a Celtic
Patriot fan. I can ride that wave too.
So anyway, Alex, so you're in East LA. How's the weather over there in LA right now?
It's about 62 degrees and climbing. So it's the top of the morning, the coolest time to be out. But once the later afternoon comes, it starts getting hot over here. So people need to drink their water.
Awesome. Well, you got to meet our friends Corolla and Rodgar. They're up there in Canada. A couple of our Canuck friends that are part of the family, and we love them. And thanks for being here, you guys. You're gonna love hearing Alex's story and sharing it out to the world. So Alex, I want to start this out the way I start out every show, because this is always the thing that I have the most curiosity with, is how, when, and why did you get involved with Kangen Water, and were you a skeptic like I was?
Yes, definitely. So how I got started with Kangen Water was from my cousin Ruben. So he was the one who actually purchased his device first. He started bringing me the water for, I'm going to say, about 6 weeks. So I was skeptical. I wasn't drinking the water at first. It took me about 3 weeks and him telling me, if you're not going to drink the water, I'm not going to bring it to you. So I had to give it a try. I just had to. I started drinking the water. At first, I didn't really notice too much, but the one property that got me at first was the microclustering, because just like everybody else, I was drinking bottled water. I was drinking, Dasani, Fiji, and I would feel the bloatedness in my stomach. So when I started to drink Kong's water, I didn't feel that. So that kind of, triggered something in me. It was like, oh, this is different. And so when he stopped bringing me the water, I was like, well, how can I get one? And I wasn't too, up and up on the money side. So I went for the smallest and least device, which was the R. And I'm so grateful that he brought the technology to me, and I started drinking the water out of the R, and I felt something. So I wanted more. I was still going to a Magic for the 11.5 and the 2.5. So I decided to put some pennies away and get my K8. And that happened about, I'm going to say 10 months after I got my R. So that's already 2 years into drinking the water. And so made me feel different. It made my sweetheart feel different because she was a big skeptic too. So I had, two people being skeptical about one device that my cousin Ruben was bringing us. So, she started drinking the water also. She started feeling something, and it made a drastic impact in her personal life. So, we were all for it after that. And why I got into the business is because I started seeing people around me having benefits. And so it was myself, my sweetheart, my cousin and his family were having tremendous results because his grandma was a little ill and she wasn't feeling too good. His sponsor was the one that actually introduced them to the water. So it just trickled down and kept going and kept going. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
So you were a skeptic. Why?
I was in the same boat as everybody else. Water is just water. You can get purified water. You can get the alkaline water from the water store. So what made this water different? And the property, like I said, the microclustering was the one that got me. Ruben finally started bringing over his ORP meter and started to visually show me how this water was different from the rest. And so I took it in consideration. It hit me like a sack of bricks. Like, this water is negatively charged and this water is positively charged. How is that even possible? And so, the tools show the results. And if you can open your mind up to the results, you can open your mind up to the machine. And so that's kind of, that's how it was.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? This water's negatively charged and the other water's positively charged. And, what difference does that make?
Yeah, no, it makes a big difference. Well, we all know that the Kangen water is electrically charged and our body runs off, would you say 220 millivolts? So
120, yep, 120 millivolts and hydrogen.
Yes. So I after about 3 months, I started feeling more energy. I was waking up in the morning not feeling groggy. I work a 9 to 5, so I wake up early in the morning, get out, some kind of little late, have to drive home. By the time I get home, I was burnt. But these days, I can keep going, baby.
Yeah, I love it, man. And yeah, that electrical charge is really important. And as people do their research and start to understand that, they'll realize that, quite frankly, the reason the negative charge is so dang important is because all of the cells in our body, the inside of those cells have a positive charge. And we all know that positives, opposites attract each other. And that's why this water is so incredibly hydrating, is your cells are literally sucking it in like a vacuum, because that positive charge is trying to suck that negative charge in like as fast as it can get there. Like for me, I've actually drank a whole 32 ounces of Kangen water right out of the machine all at once. I had to kind of pause for a breath out of my nose, but I just kept drinking until that 32 ounces was gone. And then I stood up and like was shaking myself around, and I couldn't feel anything sloshing around in my stomach, nothing. It literally all just absorbs through your esophagus. And I tell people all the time, it gets to your brain before it even gets to your stomach. And, that's one of the misconceptions that we have to deal with, is just this is alkaline water, and so it's going to mess with your digestive system and blah, blah, blah. And the truth is, no, it's not alkaline, it's alkalized. And there's a huge difference there. And heck, it doesn't even get to your stomach, man. You got to drink so much of it to get it to your stomach. And, quite frankly, I got to bring this up real quick just because it makes me think of it. With an addict, they recommend to you not to drink the water with food, to wait until like a half an hour after you've eaten. And for me, I always drink the water with my food, and I always have. And it hasn't, it's been nothing but a good thing. And I think the reason why is simply because of what we just talked about. It doesn't get to the stomach, so it doesn't affect the stomach. It doesn't affect the digestion. It goes in this way and this way before it goes that way. And so it's hydrating everything and supercharging all your cells so that your cells can take advantage of the food that's coming in, the nutrients that are coming in even better. And so, you know, that's just my personal opinion on it. And I always tell my people, you know, whatever, this is what I do. You do what you want. That's your choice. But I 100% disagree with what they say about that. I take all my nutrients with 9.5 water. I don't, the only time I'll take something without my 9.5 water is if it's a time release kind of thing. If it's something that's supposed to release over a little bit of time, then I'll go ahead and drink it down with the neutral water. This is why I do that though, because that neutral water, it's a 7.0 pH, but if you test its ORP, it's got a positive ORP. And I don't want to drink positive ORP. It ain't happening, man. I'm drinking negative ORP, baby. And so anyway, so one other thing about that, you know, Alex, how long ago was it that you got involved with Kangen Water?
It was about 3 years ago that I started to drink the water. It was about 2.5 years that I bought the R, and then about a year ago, and no, about 16 months ago is when I bought my K8. So I'm about done with the financing plan because, you know, again, I wasn't really too heavy in the pocket, so I had to take it month by month. And that's what I tell everybody, you know, it's better to utilize Enagic's financial plan, and it's better to utilize a third-party credit card because, you know, I'm not, you know, heavy in the pockets, like I said, and I know a lot of people aren't. And so that's one of the biggest deterrents, and and obviously the business and everything I've been experiencing. So I tell them, look at me. I was a skeptic. I bought 2 machines instead of, I should have bought 1, you know, in the get-go. So now I kind of leverage the R as a loaner, and people who are really interested in the water and show me that they are interested, I'll go ahead and install the device for about 2.5 months because, you know, people say a month and they'll finally, you know, feel something, but I want them to get accustomed to it. So where they wake up, they go to the machine every morning, wake up, or right before they go to sleep, they go get a glass of water, or throughout their day, they're taking their jug. So I just want it to be a lifestyle. So once they finally see the value of the machine, and sadly, once I take it away, it kind of triggers them. They're like, hey, I need that. So let's go ahead and get a machine for them. So that's kind of what I've been doing and how long I've been around.
Awesome. And so you know, you started working the business 16, 18 months ago, something like that. How's that working out with, you know, working the business side of it for you?
For myself, it's been going good. I have 7 personal sales. Unfortunately, I do work a 9 to 5. So the people that I have under me, I, you know, send them all the links. I send them all the webinars. I send them the calls. I send them the going6a.com. Any informational resource that I have in my hands, I try to, you know, give it to them and tell them this is what I did. I have a few books that, you know, are good. Think and Grow Rich. I have the Ride the Wave, and then I have this Skeptic Doctor. So these are the ones that kind of, you know, narrowed my mind to the water, and I'm in the business side. So I'm always trying to learn, you know. I watch all your calls. I try to catch up as much as I can, just because knowledge is power. And in this business, you have to know the knowledge to then, you know, reciprocate it for someone else to understand it. And if you have to, you know, take it down a notch in all the terms, it's better to do that so that, you know, the person you're talking to can fully absorb it and then think about it. Because once they start thinking, that's when the magic happens. Because awesome. I can go ahead and tell everybody everything I know, but that's not going to help them. So once they, you know, finally drink the water, once they finally learn all the terms and understand what's going on with their body, with the water in it, it's solid, you know, they can't be broken. You need this. It's going to be around, you know, it's been around for 45 years. It's going to be around for another 45, and we're still going to be here. You're still going to be looking 40 years old. I'm still going to be looking, you know, less than 30, and I'll be up there with you guys.
Amen, brother. Yeah, you know, you keep on going after this, baby, and that heavy in the pocket problem isn't going to be a problem anymore. You're going to be very heavy in the pocket. You know, that's one of the things that we've talked about a lot around here, and we even did a special show on the on, I think, let's see, it was the second of the month. We did a special
With
show
Dan,
on
right?
how to supercharge the business right from the start. And, you know, I wish I would have known that information in the beginning, but, you know, you don't know what you don't know. And once you do know, then you go ahead and utilize what you know. And that's a big part of what we're trying to do around here is we just want to bring value every day. We want to bring something that hopefully people can enjoy getting in here and listening to these calls, and learn something that they can take home with them, that they can utilize in their business, their life, to change their life. And so that's a big part of what we're doing. And, you know, I wanted to just give you a little heads up on something. Just, this is something out of my own personal that I just kind of felt like I might share with you. For me, I will never sell somebody an R, ever.
Yeah, same here.
I'm never ever going to sell them an R. And the reason why is because it's only $500 more to get the junior. And once you get that junior, then you have the ability to clean the poisons and the toxins off of your vegetables and your fruits and your, and you know, do your laundry. And see, the thing about it is that the junior and anything above the junior, one thing, if you've been following me, you hear me say all the time, Con doesn't cost. Con pays, you know, he pays, baby. And without all of the waters, he can't really pay as much. Because if you don't have the junior, you can't clean your house. You can't use the water to replace all of these different things that you no longer need anymore. And like I think I put up a post the other day saying, hey, if you buy laundry detergent, or do you buy laundry detergent? Oh, well, guess what? You're already paying for Con. You're just not getting the benefits. And literally for a lot of families out there, just that one thing, especially if you've got a good sized family, and you know, the mom, she's got all these kids, she's doing lots of laundry, she's spending lots of money every month on laundry detergent that's literally putting poisons and you know, residual garbage on her clothes, and which her body it's going against their skin, it's being breathed in, but you know, these fresh scents. These fresh scents are going into your lungs and poisoning you, kids. And so, you know, I haven't used laundry detergent in 2.5 years. And we will never buy laundry detergent ever again, as long as we have this technology. And so, you know, just that one single thing, kids, that one single thing, that one little aspect of replacing your laundry detergent will save you so much money over a lifetime, especially if you've got a lot of kids. You know, for me, it's not a huge savings because I do my laundry like once a month, whether I need to or not. and you know, so it's kind of like when I go on a river trip, I take a bath or a shower or something every 9 days, whether I need it or not, you know. But anyway, yeah, you know, I always have to joke around a little bit too, because that's just how I am. But yeah, so when it comes to the machines that we have available, I don't even care if it's somebody that has a machine already and they just want to get something to take with them. They want it for their RV or something like that. I'm just like, no, it's only $500 more for the junior. And now when you're traveling, you can still clean all the garbage off of all your stuff. You can still use it to clean the place. You can use it. You get all the benefits. If you don't have the junior or above, you simply do not get the benefits, the full benefits of Kangen water. And I'm telling people all the time that Kangen water is so much more than just drinking water. And if you only have the R, then guess what? Kangen water is only drinking water. And yes, it is the best drinking water on the planet by far and away, with nothing even close as far as competition is concerned. But it's not going to pay for itself as fast and that kind of thing. And you're not going to get the full benefits of it. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. But so you've been involved with this thing for a while. And one of the things that is a big goal of mine with this place is stories. Because for me, I sat and watched my buddy Tim McGaffin post all kinds of stuff about this water, all the technical stuff, all the doctors and this and that and whatever. You know, for me, I was just like, stupid. Water's water. This is just crazy. I can't believe you're posting about this. But he's a really good friend of mine, and I didn't know anything, so I certainly wasn't going to be saying anything. I don't like opening up my pie hole when I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. And so, because I hadn't taken any time to learn anything, I certainly wasn't going to say anything. And so I'd just give him likes and move on, laugh and move on. Stupid, stupid. Here, I have a like. You know, I like your stupid. You know, it's great. And that kind of thing. And then one day that fateful story came that changed my life, and that was Brittany Dykes, that beautiful angel. Brittany, if you're hearing this, I love you, honey. Can't wait to get you back on the show again. But her story changed my life. After listening to her story, reading her story, I had to call my buddy Tim up and get some information, and there, you know, the rest is history. But it was a story, and so that's why my big thing in this next question is about stories. Because if you've been involved with this thing for any period of time, you're probably going to have some awesome stories to tell. And before we go into this, I want to make everybody perfect. I want to make it perfectly clear that, you know, whatever Alex has to say here, whatever he chooses to say, it's completely up to him. But this water is not a cure for anything. This water is, you know, people call it miracle water. They call it magic water. No, guess what? It's not miracle water. It's not magic water. It doesn't cure anything. It doesn't heal anything. What it does, it doesn't prevent anything. What it does is it gives this thing right here. This right here is the miracle. This is the magic. This is the prevention. This is the most amazing machine that there is on this planet, and it's an incredible gift that God gave us. What the Kangen water machine is it's a tool. It is an incredible tool and a gift that was given to us by God and Mr. Oshiro. And what it does is it provides the main things that your body needs to become its own mechanic and fix itself. Okay, so it's incredibly important that you people understand this as you're hearing this. If you're part of the Fraud and Death Administration, you need to understand this. We're not making medical claims about anything. But as Bob Wright says in his Killing Cancer, Not People, that you know, there's no doctor or anything. A doctor has never cured anything in the history of the world. It's the human immune system that does the curing, the healing, the preventing, and all that kind of stuff. What we're doing here is we're just simply giving the machine what it needs to heal itself. This baby is a machine. It's an incredible machine that runs on 120 millivolts of electricity and hydrogen. And so with that disclaimer out of the way, Alex, you've been doing this for several years, and you've probably shared this water with a lot of people, and you probably have some interesting stories that have touched your heart, people that have been suffering from this malady or that malady or whatever, and now their body has managed to heal itself. What kind of stories do you have to share with our family in that regard?
So basically everything's happened relatively closer to around me. It's been a lot of my family members. A biggest issue is digestion. So a lot of people that I deal with have a lot of digestion issues, and I find it kind of strange and weird, but I give them the water for about, 30 days. I try to give it to them for a little longer, based on the need and the want. And the first thing everyone tells me, it could be the detoxing effect, but they are using the restroom a lot more. One of my family members was given, 2 or 3 pills to take for digestion. And so when I found that out, I was like, hey, let me give you some water, drink it, see what it does for you. And if it helps, it helps. I'll keep continuing to bring it to you. And that's something that I've held my promise to. It's been about, I'm going to say, a year and a half. And this is someone very dear to me. And he doesn't live too far. So I take it to him, once every week. I give him 5 gallons. He downs them, him and his wife, they down it within the first 4 days. So I see him relatively, 4 times a month, to be honest. But it's cool. I catch up. They're doing great. His skin's looking a lot better. There's things he doesn't notice. His energy, I see his energy, picking up. He's always running around the house, fixing cars, doing things, fixing around the house. And his wife, she's doing a lot better. She looks good. Same thing. Both of them together, they're like two peas in a pod. They're always, going here, going there, and that's kind of for one of them. One of my friends, same thing. He was having some kind of digestive issue where he wasn't able to fully digest his food that he consumed, and it was about maybe 3 or 4 times that I was able to get him the water. And after those 3 or 4 times, maybe like 2 months later, he was like, "Hey, that water you gave me really helped me. I noticed the difference when you gave it to me. I noticed the difference when I was off of it. Like, I need that." So I was able to help him own his own device. And right now he's just an end user. So, no shade on him, but he's feeling good. He's doing great. Definitely. Same thing with here at home. My sweetheart, she, same thing, digestive issues. And that's kind of one of the biggest problems I've been running into. I don't try to, prod, because people, sometimes they get sensitive and, things that are in their life. So whatever they feel free and, expressing to me, I go ahead and, fully absorb it. And for my personal self, I did a lot of skateboarding when I was younger. I played a lot of basketball, so I had achy joints. After about, the first 3 months when my cousin was bringing me the water, I felt something. Or I felt, when I would wake up, I didn't have the crank in my knee, or my ankles weren't as sore as they used to be. And same thing, I was using the restroom more frequently. I used to have a lot of acne because I was eating a lot of red meat. I slowly started to cut that out as soon as I got my R, just because, I want to live here for my son. I have a son, he's 9 years old, or he's 10 years old. He'll be 11 next month. Same thing, I cut him off of all the juices, all the sweets, all the sodas, all the pop, and all the Gatorades. I send him home with a gallon of water every day, because I have him like every other day. So when he comes back, he brings his jug, we fill it up, he drinks it here, he knows how to work the machine. He's great. He's great. His energy levels are boosting out of the sky. He's growing like a bamboo shoot. I can't get him to stop growing.
I love it. That's classic.
I mean, yeah. So everyone, they just, I don't know. They just feel a lot more energy. I used to go to the gym a lot, so I used to try to, get everyone to open up an ear and hear what I had to say about the water. Some of them did, some of them didn't. But hey, I can't change the world one person at a time, but we can, and that's what I try to get out. There's more people than just me trying to expose the water to the masses. And if I'm not going to do it, like you said, if it's not going to be me, it's going to be someone else. That's good. As long as you're drinking the water, as long as you're, taking the time to learn about it, that's what it's about. Especially if it can drastically affect you in your life and your family and your world, we're winning.
Yes. Amen, brother. Amen. Yeah. It is amazing what happens to people when they take a look. And what I've found over the last 2.5 years is that the hardest part of this business is just getting people to look. Like right now, I'm in a discussion on Facebook with an old friend of mine named Dennis Dickey, and he goes by the moniker of Lisa Dickey, which for some reason he's using his wife's name instead of his own name. And it's kind of weird, whenever I post back to him, I go, yeah, bro, I get it. But then his name is Lisa. So it probably, people probably wonder what the heck's going on. But the thing is I'm just trying to get him to take a look. And he won't. And the thing is if people won't look, how are they going to know? I thought it was stupid too. Everybody that's out there that's a skeptic, they all have one thing in common. They won't look. Once they look, once they see the science behind this and they see it's like one of my favorite things to do is get somebody to look at an ORP meter.
Yes.
Because it's like, hey, you guys, this is science right here. This is a little meter and it doesn't lie. it either reads negative or positive, and it doesn't, it doesn't have any chips in the game. It's just there. It just is what it is, and it doesn't have like a financial gain or a spiritual gain or a health gain or anything. It just is a little meter, and it just reads what it reads, So you simply can't argue with the ORP meter. And once you understand what that means, then it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. But oftentimes that's our biggest battle here in this business is to get people to look. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that won't look are the people we love the most. And, that's why I've told people over and over again over the last couple of years is that this is by far and away, out of all the things I've done in my life, this is the most difficult. This is by far and away the most difficult business I've ever done. But it's also the most rewarding. And the reason it's so difficult is just because it hurts. It really does. It hurts your heart when you know that you have a solution, you have the answer to people's prayers, but yet they won't look. That hurts. And, I've gotten a lot better from help from Sam Tran in learning how to cope with that. And what it really comes down to is we can't care more for people's health than they do. Mm-hmm. If they don't care for their own health, it's like just absolutely insane for me to be trying to care about their health when they don't. Because, let's face it out there, kids, if you're not into your own health and if you're not into making changes in your life to fix your health, to have your body be able to heal itself, I'm sorry, but your day of reckoning is coming. And hopefully it won't have to be a horrible tragedy that turns your body and your mind and because it all starts right here. And once this gets cured, once this gets fixed, then everything else follows. And, that's something that we're pretty aware of. And I'm thankful to the Kong family for having that driven into my brain cells so much over the last 2.5 years. And so, yeah, that's pretty neat seeing and hearing the things about the digestive issues. And with all the garbage that we're eating and drinking in our society, it's not even a slight wonder why people are having all these digestive issues. It's pretty commonplace for people to have those problems. And I'm sure happy for you that you're able to get out there and that you've been able to help people, and you're going to help a lot more as time goes by. And, for me, I'm looking forward to following your journey and watching you grow and watching all this stuff happen. And, I'm always going to be there congratulating people when they jump on board your train. And, so I'm going to move into our next question here, which this is my favorite question that I ask people because I always get a different answer. Everybody always has something different. And I like to take notes on these. But you've got somebody out there that you run into at the grocery store, or, a friend that you've only got a couple of seconds to be able to, turn on a light bulb in their brain cell and see if maybe they'll go, well, maybe I should take a look at that. And you've only got one thing you get to say to them. What is it?
So that one thing would be, check this Japanese water ionizer out. The company's been around longer than any of the TV companies. They've been around longer than any of the cell phone companies. It's going to benefit your life. Do you want to check it out? They say yes. That's on them. I'll go ahead and provide them with a pamphlet, maybe a few gallons. If no, I'll go on to the next one.
Yeah, I love that. Interestingly enough, that's the same thing that John Stevens said yesterday. He said the exact same thing, basically. He said this Japanese medical device, check this Japanese product out. It's been around for 45 years. And I know for me, like I've said to several people, a company doesn't stick around for 45 years if it's selling a scam. There's actually only one company out there that can stick around for that long selling a scam, and that's the government. is the biggest scam on the planet, and yet it's been around for thousands of years. And it's an absolute incredible scam that shouldn't even exist. But, you know, that's another story for another day. But the point of saying that is that it's literally the only entity out there that can survive for such a long time and prosper by selling a scam, by offering a scam. You know, Kangen water not only is not a scam, but it's the most important single thing on this planet that a human being can do for themselves. And, you know, once people come to grips with the idea that there's 75% water or more, whatever, the other 25% is all the other things. Water is your main gig. The other 25%, that's your exercise, your mindset, your food that you eat, your, you know, the whatever. That's this part, and the water's this part, you know. And so that's a great challenge for us to get the information out there. And, you know, starting with the idea that this is a Japanese company that produces a medical device that's been in business for 45 years, you know, that should be something that should make people go, maybe I should take a look at this. And that's one of the big things that we're out there trying to do. And, you know, that's why we get these stories out there, get the things that we're doing out there, is that hopefully something is going to resonate with somebody, and it's going to, you know, as I always say, turn that light bulb on in the brain cell. You know, I only have one brain cell. That's it. I only got one, you know. And so I need to give it something to help it grow and do its thing, right? And so another big thing about this for me, Alex, that is another big reason why I have this show going and trying so hard to do it 7 days a week, is that I want people who resonate with each other to get involved with each other. You know, I've got a lot of young friends on Facebook that, and in other areas of my life, that they may not want to do business with a coot like me, but they might meet you on this show and they might go, you know what, I'm 27 and this dude's 27. If he can do it, maybe I can do it. Maybe I'd like to work with him. And for me, I say this all the time, and I'm sure there's people out there who think that I'm full of crap and I'm just saying it to say it. But the truth is, it comes right out of my heart. You know, my brother bought a machine from another person. You know, I've been telling him about it for a couple of years. And when he bought that machine, I went and installed it for him and told him, congrats, and I love you, and glad you got the machine. Because quite frankly, I don't care where people get their machines from, just that they get them. And I believe that having that kind of a thought process and attitude will, you know, the people that want to work with me, the people that resonate with me, they're going to come. They're going to want to do business with me, and that's fine. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of them. As Sam Tran says, there's 7 billion people on this planet, so we got plenty of people to work with, right? And so, yeah. You know, so when it comes to this part of the show, I like to give all of our guests, the ability to tell everybody not only who they are, but where they are, how to get a hold of them. Because if somebody wants to work with you, they got to know how to get a hold of you. And so at this point, I'd love to give you the opportunity to give out whatever kind of personal information you'd like to give out to people, so that as this thing goes across the interweb and, you know, in the days, weeks, months, and years to come, that if somebody resonates with you and they want to get a hold of you, they need to know how to do that. And before you give this information out, Alex, I want to tell everybody, just out of a common courtesy kind of thing, because this is one of my many pet peeves. If you send Alex a message on Facebook or email or Instagram or something like that, you know, please give him the common courtesy of telling him why. Tell him, hey, you know, I saw you on that crazy show, and I'm interested in working with you in this Kangen water business, this Kong's water stuff. And, you know, just tell him why. When you send him that friend request, hit that message button and let him know why you're sending him the friend request. And that's always helpful because there's quite a few scams going on out there. And just as a little caveat here towards this subject, I got a friend request yesterday from one of my high school buddies, a guy named Brian Priest. We wrestled together in high school. And I got a friend request from him yesterday. And I was like, Brian, what are you doing sending me another friend request? What's up with that? And I get back a reply, hi, how you doing? And I go, excuse me, but why are you sending me another friend request? And then the next thing I try to send another message going, what the heck? And he's gone. So what it was is that my brother Brian Priest has been hacked. Somebody hacked into his account and was trying to send me a friend request, and it's not Brian, because he wouldn't have said that back to me. He would have said, oh, well, I got hacked or something, or I inadvertently unfriended you, and so I was sending you another friend request, and so always beware out there, you guys. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there on Facebook, so don't just be blindly friending up with people. Do yourself a favor, and especially if you already have a friend and you get a friend, because this is like the 4th time that this kind of thing's happened to me. And so be careful out there. But, the reason I'm sending this information out to people is just so they understand that it's a crazy world out there. And there's a lot of people that don't have the best intentions in mind, to say the least. And so anyway, with that, Alex, how do people get a hold of you? What do you have going? Do you have websites? Do you have Instagram? Do you have Facebook? Do you have email? Do you have phone number? What do you got? You give them whatever you want. This is completely up to you, buddy.
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook, Alex Rubio. You can find me on Instagram. It's Keep Up With It 9.5, because I'm always onto something new. I'm gonna put my flag here with the magic, and try and educate the masses, try and hydrate the masses, and let's network. Let's put our heads together. 2 brains are better than 1, and obviously we got a bunch of support from JJ. A lot of webinars out there today. There's the calls with Jelena and Eli Dafish. There's those Monday webinars with Daniel DeMacaulay, which are very powerful. So, utilize the tools. If we can utilize the tools together and educate the masses in your area, my area, around the world, let's do it. Let's connect.
Amen. Yes. And, I want to let everybody know something here that really just kind of popped into my brain cell just in the last few days. This company, of all the things I've been involved with over my 53 years of youth, I've never seen a company like this that has such built-in mechanisms into the marketing plan and into the company that gives us literally all incentive to help each other. We all have incentive to help each other. Once you reach a certain point in this company, not only do you get a check every month for the rest of your life, but you also get a check every quarter that is based off the entire company's sales. And so to me, what that is literally Mr. Oshiro and the company putting in a built-in mechanism that makes it so one line wants to work with other lines. Just because somebody is not in my downline or in your downline, because of the way this company works, you still have a built-in incentive to help them, to give them advice, to give them tips and things like that. Give out golden nuggets like it's pixie dust. And because once you reach that level, you get a share out of the entire company profits every quarter. And so that gives you incentive to help other people get machines out there, because the more machines that get sold out there in the world, the more your quarterly check is going to be. And so it's absolutely crazy to me, the incentives that are built into this company. And, not only do we have the product that every single person on this planet needs, that hardly anybody has at this point, that doesn't have any competition at all, we have something built into the system that just gives us this amazing incentive to work together and help not only the people in our downlines, but help the people in everybody else's downlines as well. And that to me is absolutely mind-boggling compared to all the different things that I've seen over the 35 years of my life that I've been a serial entrepreneur. And so I just wanted to kind of throw that out there to people that, this is something really, really, really special when you have something that puts those kinds of incentives to help others, because you gain success, you gain happiness, you gain that by helping others. There's literally nothing better, brother. And so with all of that said, we're 45 minutes into this thing, and I'm sure you've got a busy day you want to go get on with. And I know I've got a lot of stuff going on today that I've got to get moving with as well. But, I would just like to ask you, if there's any last thing or any comments based on what we've talked about today, things that you've said. I always like to give everybody a last opportunity to, if there's a golden nugget you'd like to drop, if there's something you'd like, a final message you'd like to leave to the family, that, because you youngins, you guys tend to have cool things to say and good ideas about things. And so, you got any final things you'd like to drop on the family before we jump out of this joint?
Yeah, the final thing I would like to say is, if you're a skeptic, open up your mind. Give the product at least 30 days, 35 days. If you have, a great experience with the water, there's another step we can take. If you don't, there's something that's not for everybody, and that's understandable. But if you can open up your mind and open up your body, which is the biggest factor, the water will do wonders in your personal life. And don't be a skeptic. There's a lot of research out there that are, bombing Kangen water because it is a trademarked name. So anything that has Kangen water in it is going to get directed, or you're going to be looking for. Go to the source. Go to the Magic website. Go to Google Docs. I think it's Google Scholar. Yeah. Look up EWR water. That's what we are. Kangen water is just a name. Look up EWR water and all the benefits that has. We have the technology that has been booming since the 70s. Let's get it, guys. It's 2020 next year, and you guys are still drinking bottled water. We got to stop that. We got to stop giving our money that we work hard for to those bottling companies. They're poisoning us, guys. We got to change it, especially with our fruits and vegetables. We got to change that stuff. JJ is doing something awesome. He's growing his own. We got to get on that page. Unfortunately, here in East Los Angeles, there's not a lot of land where we can grow. So I'm stuck buying, produce from the market. But I have the technology that saves me money. It saves me in medical costs, because we are able to clean our fruits and vegetables off. And that's just the biggest factor. You help healthy eating, healthy water to drink. If you have an Anespa, it's better to take a shower in that because of all the chemicals in our shower. So let's just go chemical free, guys. It's 2020. We're going to look towards the future. And if you're not going to jump on board, it's going to leave you behind.
Amen, brother. This train's going to definitely leave people behind that won't get on board. But, I got to clarify two things real quick from what you just said. Number one, this water is for everybody. Everybody. You might not understand it. It might not be for you because you are not thinking properly in your brain cell. But the truth of the matter is, this is the single most important thing that a human being can do for their body. Plain and simple, period. Why? Because it provides the main ingredients that your machine needs to run. It provides electricity, it provides hydrogen, it provides hydration, and it provides alkalinity by default of those first two. The electricity is what creates the hydrogen is what creates the alkalinity, and it is alkalinity that is being created through electricity, not through chemicals. When you're creating alkalinity through chemicals, it is not good for your body. It is actually quite bad for your body. And you might, like if you're drinking these pH waters that are created through baking soda, terrific. You're going to get rid of your heartburn, but you're going to trade it for osteoporosis. Trust me, you don't want osteoporosis. It's something that's you know, let's just say it's not a good thing. You're you know, like Dr. Barry Oss says, he says the body absolutely never goes hungry, ever. The human body eats rump roast and bone. That's what it eats. If it doesn't get the food it needs, if it doesn't get the hydration, the electricity, the hydrogen, and the alkalinity that it needs, it goes ahead and eats itself. It's called catabolization. Catabolization is when you eat yourself. Cannibalization is when you go and eat somebody else. I don't recommend you go and eat somebody else. It's a bad idea. But you really shouldn't even be eating yourself either, and you don't even realize it, that that's what's happening. You are literally eating yourself. If you're not drinking Kangen water, your body is catabolizing itself. It is literally the only way that you can stop your body from catabolizing itself, and that is to drink Kangen water. And that's just the facts of the matter. It doesn't have anything to do with what I think or what I feel or anything. It just is what it is. And so, you know, and then the other thing I gotta tell you about there, Alex, is that if this water were called Kangen water, Kong wouldn't exist. This big gorilla right here, this guy right here, he wouldn't exist. If that little beautiful lady in our lightning bolt in a box, if she said Kangen water 9.5, Kangen water 8.5, why, I would have never come up with this gorilla. And, you know, because it's actually Kangen water, and the word Kangen is a Japanese word that's spelled K-A-N-G-E-N, but it's pronounced K-O-N-G-E-N, Kangen. And it means return to origin. And so I always have to correct people when they're out there saying Kangen water, because it's not Kangen water, it's Kangen water. And I don't want confusion with people when I'm calling it Kong, because I always say, how do you think that gorilla got so big? He's out there in the jungle drinking from the base of that waterfall that he just jumped into. And, you know, so I always have a little bit of fun with that. You know, it's all in good nature. But, yeah, I always try to, I even corrected Daniel DeMacaulay because he calls it Kangen water too. And I'm like, dude, it ain't Kangen, it's Kangen. But anyway, you know, just part of me trying to have a little bit of fun with what we do here, because if you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong, kids. If you're not having fun doing what you're doing. And so, hey, my buddy Scott Wood just jumped in here, and I was wondering if there's something that he had to say. Do you have something you want to ask Alex, or something you got a comment that you want to drop on the family there, Scott?
No, not really today. I just now jumped on here, so I sort of missed the show a little bit, but I'll get a repeat and everything. But I'm glad to see that he's on there and spreading out the education information on changing lives and changing health and educating everyone about what the machine and what the Kangen water is all about, and that there's a simpler solutions than what we've been taught throughout our whole life. So, like I said, I wasn't here for the actual show, but I'm sure it was pretty interesting. And you know, and if he wants to give me a little feedback, or you want to give me a little feedback, let me know what's going on. I'll let you know if I have a question there, buddy. And I'm glad to see you guys. I hope everyone have had a fabulous week, and everyone's having a great day today. So, you know, hey, it's a Kong family show, man. We're all here to have fun and change lives and enjoy life, live the journey, right? So, yeah, man, I'm on here. So, hey, let's go on with the show, man. Let's have fun.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for jumping in, Scott. You know, I know that Scott's our resident 18-wheeler. He's out there trucking the country, delivering the goods, and he's always in a different place at a different time. And so, yeah, we really appreciate him being here. And he's a member of the Kong family. And the way I look at it, kids, is that anybody that owns a Kangen water machine, they're part of the Kong family. And And that's the only prerequisite to become a member of the Kong family is you got to get yourself a Kangen water machine. And, you know, so yeah, we are an incredible family of people, and this was recorded, Scott, or it is being recorded, and you'll be able to check out the recording later on this evening or first thing in the morning. I'll get it up onto YouTube and make it available to be shared out there with the world forevermore. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up everything that we were trying to get across today. So happy with a young man like Alex coming in here. He's a young fire plug. He's on the right path. He's doing the right thing. He's going to change the world right along with us. And, you know, we are the Kong family, and we have this simple goal. We just want to change the world, and we're doing it. We're doing it one glass of 9.5, hydrogen-rich, oxygen-saturated, incredibly hydrating, Kangen 9.5 at a time, one lightning bolt in a box, one incredible guest, one awesome show, one amazing family at a time. And Alex, thank you so much, buddy, for coming in here, spending your valuable time to share your story with the family and with the world as this thing goes around and makes its rounds around the web over the coming days, weeks, months, and years. It's going to have an impact on people, and this will be available for you to share. You know, so maybe you won't have to tell your story. Maybe you can just share this, and people will get the story from the, you know, they get to hear other things as well. And, you know, hopefully this will be something that helps people, because that's what it's all about. We've got this burning desire to help people, and in doing so, we're going to change the world. And so with all of that said, John, good seeing you here today, buddy. And so, yeah. With that, John, by the way, you just dropped your smiling, handsome mug in here. You got anything to say before we take off out of here? Oh, there you go. You got to unmute yourself, buddy.
Is that undone?
There you go. Now we can hear you.
No, great. Just the one little thing about Google Scholar, which is a great, but it's ERW, electrolyzed reduced water, not EWR. So whenever they're looking up electrolyzed reduced water. But no, great to have the young lads on here. And, you know, that's the future. I mean, water's not going away, and we're going to need it more and more. Why not have the healthiest water on the earth, you know, and making the business out of it, a 27-year-old? Imagine if we would have been in this at 27, JJ.
Dude, I wish I would have known about this. You know, there's a couple of things about that. My mom died back in 1990 of a brutal form of spinal meningitis. She developed a cyst on the backside of one of her kidneys that poisoned her spinal fluid and turned her into a vegetable. And in 4 days, she was gone. And she was taking 22 different medications at the time, every day. And I didn't know about this water. And it, you know, quite frankly, my mom is my driving force behind why I do what I do. Because I really and truly believe with all my heart that if I would have known about this water, it was available. I just didn't know about it. But I believe if I could have gotten my mom to drink this water, that she'd still be with me today, barring some sort of catastrophic accident, because we never know. You know, you could head out today and get hit by a truck while you're sitting there at a stop sign or something. We just don't know. One of the things we talk about all the time is that yesterday's gone. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so you might as well live for today. You might as well live today. Get it done today, because we don't know. You know, yesterday's over. Forget the mistakes. Move on, you know, and tomorrow, you don't know whether you're going to get tomorrow or not. So, you know, I have an old friend who died in his sleep on his 40th birthday. And it turns out his father died in his sleep on his 40th birthday. I was telling his son, man, you might not want to go to sleep on your 40th birthday there, Ian.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I mean, that kind of stuff, we have such an incredible gift here with us. And I wish I would have known about it when I was Alex's age. I mean, I wish I would have jumped on immediately instead of wasting 6 perfectly good months of my Kangen water life by being a skeptic. And, you know, the thing is all we can do is share stories and roll with what we do know, because we don't know what we don't know. But once we do know, then it's our responsibility to utilize what we know. And that's one of the things that has been so powerful for me being involved with this thing. And I don't want people to suffer the way my mom did. And I don't want to, you know, have people suffer the way I've suffered from losing my mom. I mean, that was going on 29 years ago here on the 16th of this month, and it still hurts. Yeah. You never get over losing your mom, and it still hurts, you guys. And so to everybody hearing this, we're trying to save your life. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to save your life. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when it comes right down to it, when I say Kong doesn't cost, he pays, I'm not joking. Kong pays. I mean, heck, I got to tell everybody another little thing, you know. I just had I wear hearing aids because my nickname is Helen because I'm deaf and blind. And I wear these hearing aids and I managed to get a infection in both of my ears from these hearing aids, from, you know, pulling them out, putting them in, pull them out, putting them in, you know, whatever. Who knows how that happened, but I ended up with an infection in both of my ears. And guess how I got rid of that infection? My hearing doctor was telling me I needed to go to a doctor. He gave me 2 doctor cards for 2 different ear, nose, and throat specialists. And I said, I'm not going to no doctor. I'm taking Kong, baby. I'm using my 2.5 hypochlorous acid. I'm going to soak it in my ears several times a day. And that's exactly what I did. I simply laid on my side and put 2.5 hypochlorous acid into my ears, let it sit in there for a couple of minutes at a time, did it several times a day for a couple of days. And voila, my hearing aid, my ear infection is gone. My ears are all back to normal, my normal deaf self. And, but I don't have any pain in there anymore. And so I don't even know what it would have cost me and my insurance company to go to those doctors and have them look in my ear and go, oh, here's an antibiotic. Well, guess what? I don't need antibiotics. I've done the same thing with toothaches. I stabbed myself in the eye with a lilac bush trying to chase one of my bunnies. And I've just used Kangen water to get rid of all these ailments. And so, you know, the amount of money that this water has saved me over the last 2.5 years has easily paid for the machine. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there who don't look at it that way. And they you know, they don't, when I say that you're already paying for Kong, you're just not getting the benefits. I'm not joking. And I can prove it. And I'm sure that you guys can as well. If you have things like that to talk about, we're certainly always interested in hearing them. And it almost makes me think you've got something to say about that there, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. So just recently I was chewing my food and I chomped on my lip. Just like you said, when I got home, I straight gargled with the 2.5. And about, 2 days after doing that, it was pretty much gone. It was really weird. My sweetheart was saying I should gargle with salt water, but I just, why don't I just make some 2.5? Made a fresh batch, gargled it for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, twice a day, and yeah, voila, it was gone. No more pain, no more bleeding.
Yeah, there's so many things like this, and this is a great format for us to share this kind of information, just so that people can understand what they're dealing with here. Years ago, I was on a river trip. It was a 6-day river trip down the Green River in eastern Utah. And on about day 3, I got a toothache. I think it was over here somewhere. I got a really bad toothache. And I didn't have any pain pills on the trip. I didn't have any antibiotics on the trip. And so for like the last 3 days of the trip, I was just suffering. And by the end of the trip, my face, because what happened is this tooth actually abscessed on me. And my face was literally just huge by the end of the trip. And when we were on our way driving home, I was suffering from hot and cold chills. I'd be super hot one minute and then freezing cold the next as we were driving home. And my wife, she said, you know what? We're stopping in Roosevelt. We're going to the hospital. And she made me go into the hospital. And I ended up on rocepharin injections for a week after that. I had to go into the hospital. They put in a permanent, not a permanent, but they put a thing into my arm that had to stay there for that week. But every morning I had a 9 a.m. appointment to go in, and they would slowly push this big old huge thing of what's called rocepharin, which is the cure, their solution for meningitis. But I had to go in every day for that and have them shoot that stuff into my arm, into my body, and it ended up taking care of the problem. But the thing was, is if I would have had my Kangen water, if I would have had 2.5 water on that trip with me, all I would have had to do, as soon as I felt that pain coming in, all I would have needed to do is gargle with that Kangen water, and literally not gargle, but you just drink a little bit of it and go. Mm-hmm. And that, you know, the thing is I had a similar thing happen just last year down in Tucson when I went down there for my fossil show. Because you can see the fossils on the wall behind me. I've been in the fossil business for 14 years. I'm no longer doing that anymore, but I went down to the show and I took my machine with me because I travel with my machines everywhere I go. And I woke up the first morning of the show with a throbbing toothache. This time it was right here. And I thought, oh no, this is great. And that's just what I need, to go to the dentist 900 miles away from home. And while I've got a show going on that I need to deal with, right? And I thought, nah, I'm just going to mix up some 2.5. And that's what I did. And I gargled every 2 hours. I swished it around right there every 2 hours that whole day. And by the time the day was over, the pain was gone, the toothache was gone, and it has never come back. So, you know, there you go. Once again, here's Kangen water paying for himself, paying with the benefits of not having to go there. I have a cat that got in a fight. My big Johnny, he was 22 pounds, and he's now 17 years old. But he got in a fight and ended up with a big old giant abscess on his back. And it got all pussy and gross and everything else. And everybody was telling me, you got to get him to the vet. Never took him to the vet. All we did is squirted him with 11.5 water and 2.5 water. And that abscess went away and he's back to normal. He was back to normal within a week. And didn't cost us a penny. I can imagine what it would have cost us if we would have taken him to the veterinarian. They're freaking expensive nowadays. And so, yeah. There's some of the things that we have to offer and why this is such a life-changing thing. And, you know, if you've got pets, I mean, my big Johnny, I thought he was on his deathbed 2.5 years ago. And now he's down to 16 pounds. He's spry. He's chasing little Angel around. His limp is gone. He's back to being I guess he's probably got another 5 to 10 years left of his life. When we got Kong, I thought he was on his deathbed. And so for you people out there who have kitties and puppies and pets of any kind, they need this water too. And so that's some of my personal stories in regards to that kind of stuff that, you know, we can all utilize as time goes by. And hopefully those stories will help people to realize that maybe they should open up their eyes and open up their mind and take a look-see. And that's the big thing, kids. If we can implore you to do anything, it's look. Pay close attention to what you look at and jump on the train before it runs you over or passes you by. Scott, what do you got? You got something you're dying to get out there, buddy?
Just a few things, actually. I want to tell him thanks. Like I've said before, I love it seeing that the younger generations get into this, knowing that there's simpler remedies out there other than narcotics that has put the road in this bad epidemic that we're in. And every natural living thing needs water, so water is essential. And what's the best thing to use is Kangen water. And then, I mean, when I can put down this regular water at the house, the faucet, or I can put down a bowl of Kangen water, guess which ones my animals go to, guys? They definitely don't go to the tap water. I mean, I've done these little studies. I might do a little video when I'm at the house sometimes and let you guys watch the animals. But one day I got a gallon of that, I guess it's distilled water, wherever you buy it in the store. I got a gallon of that, and I had my tap water. And then I had the Kangen water, had all three of them down. Guess which one was gone at the end of the day, and guess which other ones was still there? They didn't want nothing with the bottled water. They didn't want nothing with the tap water. That Kangen water was there, and they was like, hey, so the dogs, the animals, our four-legged fur buddies even know what the best water is, right? Everything on life and that's livable in life needs water. And it's just a simple solutions. And when we let people know about it and you tell them it's water, they just think like, wow, something so simple as water. And it's just hard for them to really get through their head to really, educate themselves or really get themselves into the belief about it. And then they're at the house. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos when I was going on vacation. I was able to, I've been implementing a few things, and I'm going to be moving on to first and things like that. Got me a nice little pad. But I got my mom and dad, then I got my roommates there to help them out when I'm gone on the road. And she rehabilitates. She has a license to rehabilitates the birds and animals and stuff. And we have like 3 or 4 exotic parrots at the house and everything. Well, one of them was getting sick. One of them has seizures and things like that. And I told her, I said, what are you giving them? Because they wasn't using tap water. They just went out and just buying bottled water, that Nigeria bottled water and things like that. I was like, well, won't you just go ahead, improvise the machine in there and try that on the exotics in here, since we're rehabilitating them and bringing them back, and try the Kangen water with them. See if it helps them with their sickness and helps them with their seizures. And guys, it has. The bird has a seizure in about 3 months. The little birds that we got, that we was rehabilitating, that when we found them, they was actually in a grill, and the mother, the lid closed down on the grill when there was a big rainstorm, and it killed the mother. So it still had the babies there, and we got them and all that, and we rehabilitated them and rehabilitated them with that Kangen water. And then we took them over to the nature reserve, to the actual nature reserve. And after we got them rehabilitated, got them where they was like, moving around, chirping and flying, little cute little things. And, now they're taking care of it. We got our license, we're doing that, and we're introducing the Kangen water to the natural habitats, may I say, for not just the 4-legged animals, but we're doing it for the birds and everything else too, guys. So if anyone's interested in wanting to know about that, this reach out, let someone know, because like I said, my roommate's doing that, and I introduced her into that Kangen water. And if you're into rehabilitating animals, rehabilitating birds, and just if you find an animal on the side of the road or something that may need to rehabilitate it, it don't hurt to bring one in and introduce them to the Kangen water, because I've seen it do very, very interesting things that I was a skeptic at first and didn't believe, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, this is just water, this is a joke, So yeah, I mean, everyone has a little skeptic, but I started drinking the water when I was on vacation. I actually went because I was telling everybody, I got arthritis in my left hip, osteoarthritis, and my lower back gets stiff. I've been drinking that Kangen water. And this time when I went and got checked, like I said, I don't feel the pain no more when I'm implementing the water. I smell the rain. I don't feel the pain. Like if you have arthritis and there's no rain, you feel the pain. I don't feel that pain no more. Now I smell the rain before I feel the pain. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So just started doing that with implementing that water, and I went to the doctors and everything. She's like, you want to know what? She said, have you been in much pain as you had been? What's your pain now? I said, usually I could say it was a 10. I'd say I'm probably down to about 6, 7 now. And she's like, yeah, she said, because it don't look as bad as it was, 3, 4 months ago. So just implementing the water and drinking the water, it will heal you from the inside out, but you got to implement it. And what I'm saying by implementing, I'm not saying, oh, let's just go ahead and make our tea with it, make our coffee with it, make our Kool-Aid with it, shower in it. I'm not just saying implement it that way, guys. I'm talking about actually drinking just the water. Like if you want to have a pot of coffee, in the morning when you wake up, 'cause we all love our coffee, right? Go ahead in the morning as your coffee's making, go ahead and drink you 1 or 2 glasses of the actual water. And then you can go ahead and drink your tea and your coffee throughout the day. And then at nighttime before you go to bed, drink you another 1 or 2 glasses of the actual water. And you will see that it'll start healing yourself from the inside out. And you will see changes in your body, changes in your health, and changes in your financial wealth. So we're just out here to educate everybody. And I wish I would have known about this, because it was around, because I'm only 47. And I wish I'd have known about this water when I was his age, because it would have been a game changer. I'd probably still have my grandma around. I'd still have my aunt around, and probably a few other people, and life would just been a lot differently. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm glad everyone's finding this out, and I'm glad that the younger generation stepping up and getting.
Yeah, buddy. Old Alex is a breath of fresh air, man. All you youngins are. But yeah, buddy, that's great. That's kind of cool. You know, a bird that has seizures. I never never even considered such a thing. What, I mean, I hate to laugh about that, but gosh, it seems like it would almost be humorous watching a bird have a seizure. But, you know, I've seen animals have them. I've seen people have them, and it's pretty horrific watching somebody have a seizure. And I've never even considered the idea of a bird having a seizure. So that's kind of an interesting little thing. But so, yeah.
Exotic bird is a parrot. I do believe that one is like 12 years old too, so he's kind of old too. So.
Wow, that's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, learn something new every day here on the Kong Family Show. And so, yeah, Alex, do you have anything to add here before we take off?
Yeah, I do actually. So, like you guys were reiterating, if you guys would have known about this when you were my age, you guys would have been, you know, who knows where. But the good thing about eMagic is it's a lifelong business. You know, I got in it about a few years ago, and I don't plan on stopping. You know, I'm gonna go until the wheels fall off, and you know, the business is gonna be here, the company is gonna be here, and definitely the technology is gonna be here. So whether it's gonna be, you know, my generation, my son's generation, or even his kid's generation, my machines will definitely be here, and they're gonna make a lifelong impact on my family's lives and the lives of everyone who, you know, opens their mind and opens their heart to this in the future.
Amen, brother. Amen. Yeah, I love that. I love your attitude. I'm looking forward to watching your journey and being part of it. And, you know, if anything ever goes on that happens along the way that you want to come and share with the family, please just reach out to me and let me know, and let's get you back on here again so that you can share your magic, because that's what it's really all about. We are the magic, and we are changing the world. And, you know, to everybody out there, as usual, do not forget your hugs. Do not forget your hugs, kids, and your HooDeeHooooo.
HooDeeHooooo.
Make sure to let them rip. And I'll tell you what,
Another great thing that
the old HooDeeHooooo rip. And yeah, you guys go out there, tease the world, starting with your own. Alex, thank you so much for taking your time to grace the family today with all of your great information. And you know, you're a great inspiration, and I really appreciate you being here. And so get out there, change the world, starting with your own. Have a great weekend. And once again, thank you so much for coming in here and gracing us.
Thank you, JJ, for having me. It's an honor.
And your stories. Yeah. And so you guys, John, thanks for being here. Rodgar, love you, buddy. Corolla, Scott, thanks for jumping in. Be careful out there. Of course, watch out for all them damn Anasazi. They're out there everywhere. Watch out for them. And you guys make it a great one. Thanks again, Alex. Let's keep in touch. And
Alex came in, and like he said, everyone keep in mind, this is a business that you can pass from generation to generation to, so you can pass it along through the family.
Absolutely. Absolutely, kids. All right. Make it a great one. Have an awesome day. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably be coming in. I don't know. I may not be able to come on the show tomorrow just because of what I've got going on tomorrow. I got a huge day. And at this point, I don't have a subject or a guest. So we'll probably see you guys on Monday. But who knows? Might come in with a surprise show during the day sometime. We'll see how it goes. So my name is Surprise, and I do like surprising people. All right. Love you guys. Have a great one. HooDeeHooooo.
Thank you, guys.